All right, good morning, FYI family. Happy to be here with you guys this Monday, the 8th day. Am I correct? 8th day of December. I did tell you guys we'll be coming to you a bit informally from today as we kind of scale back. You know, the season gets a little mellower and we kind of regroup for this new year ahead. We'll talk about that in a second. But I'm just checking in this morning. Welcome to our broadcast, guys. A very good morning. We kind of stopped in as we're traveling as a coffee shop. We're going to grab some coffee and catch up with you guys. Very good morning to all of you, wherever you guys are joining us from around the world this morning. We are in heart and spirit with our colleagues. I kind of came out over the weekend, left Friday's press conference and started packing, and you know the usual stuff. So I don't want to bore you with that, but I just want to keep in focus a couple of things that are happening at the press conference. The parliamentary lead for the parliamentary opposition, this is APNU, parliamentary opposition, did notify that we're going to be doing a cost of living protest today. And I hope that you guys who are on the ground, that you go out and support that. We are still lending support, folks. This is not all recreation, sadly, but we are going to be talking with quite a number of folks where we are as we try to bring pressure to bear on what's happening at home. So good morning. Let us start there, and we're going to be on for about 25 minutes if we get so much. But we just wanted to check in with you guys. That's the most important thing right now. We wanted to ensure that we check in with you guys because we know how much you guys look forward to credible and valid information. And I'll tell you this, we are going to be talking about many issues this morning, but I wanted to center our talk about that cost of living crisis that is happening at home. I wanted to talk to you about that. And wherever you are in the world, this is the beautiful thing about technology, that wherever you are in the world, you can bring pressure to bear on that. We'd love if everyone could be activists on the ground. Everybody could be activists on the ground. We'd love that. But we know that is not a possibility because some of you actually had to come out north to be able to impact your families at home. And so we understand that. We appreciate that. I appreciate the remittances like any other Guyanese. But you can bring your activism to bear on social media as well. I know my colleagues, they're going to be going live on social media around 10:30 with that protest this morning that begins on the square of the revolution. So look out for that. You can also lift your voice. You can also lift your voice this morning. You can dedicate your status, your Facebook status, your Facebook activism directed at this issue. Now, This isn't something that we've been talking about just yesterday. Um, Quite contrary to a editorial that I saw in, I think, the Skytrue News this morning as I was checking. Quite contrary to that. Um, I think the argument that Skytrue News is making is that we did not take very frontally, and I disagree with it too, the renegotiation of the 2016 production sharing agreement. I disagree with that because we've always been frontal in that issue that we needed to get that circumstances had changed. You guys would have heard us saying recently that we are going to be topping $1 trillion in oil revenues quite soon, and that I think um, doesn't even take into account the Yellowtail project that's coming on stream in very short order. So the bottom line is, folks, that we are the most wealthy as we've ever been in our nation's history, and there is no reason to suggest that Guyanese should be living the way that recent international report suggests, that a majority of Guyanese live in poverty, right? And you guys know, let us be fair. If we didn't have a relative up north to brace us, you know, to brace us, to say, sure, come and take a week or two and regroup. Here's a cup of coffee. If we didn't have a relative to do that for us, can't eat we dinner. Can't eat we dinner. I'm grateful, but I want that for every Guyanese. I want that for every Guyanese. Not take a brace, but I want what is ours. I want us to reimagine the Guyanese dream is not just to get by and not just to live, but to thrive. And we saw how people get by. Two visits I made recently, EP Enterprise. We spoke with residents in EP Enterprise, that housing development there. We went down to Purika Dam. And folks, I'm going to be out for a couple of days, but by the time I hit the ground running, I got up this morning mapping out the rest of my year, mapping out 2026, because we got to keep these issues very, very live. And the cost of living issue, you guys who watch our programs consistently, y'all know we've been talking about this all the time. And one of the things we always talk about as our guide, we talk about this every Monday, like today. Sabbath News, kudos to them, have been running for weeks on end, for about 2 or 3 years now. This how the cost of living affecting people. Article, column, segment, series, consistently, and it's a good snapshot of how people are doing in various communities. It is great anecdotal information. And guys, $1, $100 in any direction can hurt your pocket, right? Can hurt your pocket. To get a little time away, the amount of tucking away and putting away, you gotta do. And what do we always say to you, our faithful listeners? Don't just walk on dead. See somewhere different, right? See somewhere different. But I understand, I appreciate it's a struggle. It's a struggle to be able to do that, right? As a family, we said we weren't doing anything for summer. We made that decision. We were gonna stay put and lend all our efforts to the campaign. We wanted to be successful. We weren't as successful as we wanted to be. But you all know that we are regrouping and we're coming strong. We're coming stronger. And this, for me personally, is part of my own regrouping. Um, yeah, a little time away, rest, refocus. We did promise. Now we're going to stay in touch with you folks, and we're going to be doing that. We're not going to have the formal programs as we know them, but I'm going to check in with you folks. You can count on that. I'm going to check in with you folks. Um, while I'm away, resting and recuperating, um, we got our other members of parliament from APNU who are still with you guys, who are going to who got a foot, and it's that's that kind of effort we have. They have their hand on their pulse of what is happening. I was so heartened to see my colleagues at Linden yesterday, Dr. Campbell, MP Andrews, MP Solomon, again, talking with folks about the issue. And let me tell you in advance, what my 2026 is looking like. It is deepening that groundwork, right? I always tell you guys, I don't like the studio so much. I like to be outside talking with our Guyanese brothers and sisters, and you can look forward to even more of that in 2026. You can look forward to more of that in 2026. Us on the ground, engaging the people, talking to the people, and to bettering the circumstances of our people at home. That is my commitment. Looking at this article here, it's like any other week in Starbucks News. Cost of living going up. Parents are worried about their school children. The new school term beckons. Parents are thinking about that. People are watching in the market. What is happening with the prices? Eggs are going up. I saw one what do you call it? Photo on social media yesterday. I shared on my profile. Is it 5x for 1,000? I came in this coffee shop, Starbucks. I bought one coffee. One coffee. I'm on a mega budget out here. A mega budget. But I just needed some time to think, some time to refocus. You understand? Refocus, re-energize. And so that's what I'm going to be spending a couple of days doing, and then be back at it, folks. We are back at it. And as I said, I want to compliment my brothers and sisters who are picking up the slack. But I did say that next year is more underground. It's more underground. A lot of regional work internally, and a lot of regional work Caribbean-wise. I had started some of this in the past, and I want to go back to it. Some regional work we've been doing that is going to help us to make some important connections. That's going to be important to us moving forward. I don't want to go too much into that, but we have been doing some of that already in the past, and some of it you know about. Some of it is bearing fruit. So Caribbean region-wise, 592 Guyana region-wise, more work focus in that area. Definitely, and I am picking up in even greater way the portfolios that I've undertaken. This is shadowing housing, shadowing security, and they got some other issues that are very, very dear to me. AI, artificial intelligence. There is methodology to the little madness you see sometimes on social media. There is method to it. Artificial intelligence is something that I follow very, very keenly. Digital governance broadly. Is something that has my interest, and it's an area that I'll be refocusing on in a major way after these couple of days in the diaspora. That's something we're going to be taking on. But today, folks, our energies are focused on the cost of living crisis in Guyana. the cost of living crisis. Look out, those of us in the diaspora, look out for that protest that's going to be broadcasted on social media. APNU is taking the lead here. The cost of living issue is an issue we've been in front of. It's an issue we've been in front of. I think it is widely accepted that the APNU coalition has had the best manifesto to move more people out of poverty, to move more people out of the lower class and into the middle class. That's the Guyanese dream, to give everyone a fair shake, to give everyone a fair peace. The rising tide must float all boats, not just some boats. The rising tide must float all boats. So we're watching where these prices are going. And it's not only prices in commodities. As I have spoken to more and more people who want to build, who want to pay. Let's start there. Who want to pay for a piece of land? Who want to build? If you got a piece of land, you are able to pay for the piece of land. You want to build. You might want to expand. It's a struggle. It's a struggle. It's a struggle, right? The powers that be would want us to believe the crime is serious crimes. They're at an all-time low, even though we know the murder rate, domestic murder rate has doubled. Crime is at an all-time low. We don't feel that in the streets. We don't feel that in the streets. And you guys know when we went to EP Enterprise, for instance, resident after resident complained about security. Soon as we step out of the vehicle, I'm sorry we didn't have cameras rolling. Soon as we stepped out of the vehicle in EP Enterprise, there was a woman passing by on a bicycle. She stopped us. She said, "There's Steve body here." She said, "There's Steve body here." That's what she said. "There's Steve body here." And then comment after comment, residents told us there's an outpost close by, but house after house, resident after resident, they told us that they lose things, they lose stuff, they lose things, right? And so I saw the Commissioner of Police talking about a transformation that beckons for the police force. I think I heard that before. A transformation that beckons for the Ghana police force. I think I've heard that before. We got a couple minutes more on with you guys. But as when the cost of living issue, I saw Ralph Ramkran, senior counsel and politician. I think he's resigned now from a new and united Guyana, I think. And over the weekend, he was talking about how the government has failed in the area of poverty alleviation. Mind you, that international report quite recently said over 50% of Guyanese are living in poverty. Over 35% of Guyanese are in acute poverty. But Ralph Ramkran over the weekend, and again, I want to use these examples. I often refer to Sabbath News because Sabbath News has fairly decent, middle of the road, professional journalism. And I'm using Ralph Ramkran as a non-APNU person. As a non-APNU person. And here is Ralph Ramkran over the weekend saying that despite Guyana's oil wealth and the expanded social spending, the government has failed to articulate any structured and measured plan to alleviate poverty. To alleviate poverty. That's a note I want to close on. This is why the protest is on today. This is why my parliamentary colleagues are leading the charge with this protest activity. We have been in front of this issue of the cost of living, structured cash transfers, and how together we can better the lives of every Guyanese. And this is not APNU speaking. This is Ralph Ramkaran in his own deliberate judgment. No friend of APNU talking about the failure of the administration to articulate any structured, measured plan. I just want to leave that there. Right? No structured, measured plan. Think about that. Think about that. As we covered your support for the cost of living protest, whether on social media, whether in person on the ground, this is what boots on the ground is going to look like. Right? This is what boots on the ground is going to look like. This is what boots on the ground is going to look like. So I'm signaling to you, we need your support, we covet your support. And this is not just for today. This is not for today. This is for the long haul. This, God forbid, is for the next 5 years. We are going to be suggesting again and expanding on what the government can do. I would invite the government. I would invite the government to sit with us and let us talk informally in the first instance about budget 2026. And we can bring measures to bear on the people of this country to better their lives, to ease their suffering. Right? Together we can do it. Together we can do it. So we remember all of our Guyanese brothers and sisters. Remember them. Remember each and every one of them. Yet, as soon as I get back, we get back to basics, but suffer it to be so for a little while that we come to you informally like this. I'm just checking in with you guys as we are taking a couple of days off to rest, recuperate, and refire. We're going to be back on the ground in very short order, and we're going to talk more about that on the ground push that we're going to have for 2026 and onwards. Less studio time. I want to get out there and see you guys face to face. See you guys face to face. They got a couple of things we have to and must do in the diaspora to strengthen and amplify what we're doing at home. We'll continue to do that. Whether it's the diaspora up north, where I am currently, or whether it is the diaspora in the Caribbean, where I got lots of work to do there as well. And more than anything else, the work that continues at home. Let us leave it there this morning, folks. Let us leave it there this morning. I want to thank you for your time. I want to thank you for your commitment to tuning in with us on a daily, weekly, monthly, yearly basis. And you're going to see some shifts. You're going to see some shifts in in what we do as a program, as a member parliament as well. You're going to see some shifts as we seek to tighten up our actions, tighten up our message, refocus our work, realign our purpose to bettering the lives of Guyanese. Bettering the lives of Guyanese. So we're going to leave it there this morning, folks. Thanks for joining us. That's our time and that's our broadcast this morning as we check in with you. Take it easy this morning. Remember that protest activity that comes up at 10:30. Be gentle with yourselves this Christmas. And season's greetings to each and every one of you. Let us end on that.